Welcome home, brave heroes and Kai Lords alike. I'm Ash, this is HashQuest, and this is a continuation of our journey through Joe Dever's legendary Lone Wolf, Fire on the Water. This is the latest in a series of playthroughs that I thought would not last this long. Indeed, the previous book did not last this long, but this book has proven to have a ton of gameplay content. We are currently on Passage 277, utilizing a save system wherein I write down page numbers. I keep track of how many times I die in case I want to implement a sort of limitation on how many times I die before I punish myself in some way, because classically I believe once the game is over, the game is over. But here we will implement save scumming just a little bit. I have died twice in this campaign thus far. I have 26 endurance points. I have a base of 17 combat skill. I currently have no weapons other than the magic spear, which I am using to fight hellghasts. Near the end, I would presume, of this book, I have the Kai skills of healing, hunting, weapon skill with the warhammer, mind blast, animal kinship, and sixth sense. Seriously considering getting a sort of mind shield skill for the next adventure once I complete this one, and complete this one I shall. We are utilizing a 10-sided die instead of choosing numbers from the random number table. With all of that out of the way, that is our custom setup for Fire on the Water. Let us waste no more time and get back into Passage 279, in which we have seen a sort of mouse-like creature who is actually dressed a bit dapper in this cave that we have just been escorted to. You recognize the creature to be a nudnick, an intelligent but mischievous mountain-dwelling native of Duranor. The nudnicks inhabit a maze of smaller shafts and fissures that honeycomb the Hammerdal mountains and live off whatever they can scavenge and steal from the merchant caravans that travel the Tarnalin. It occurs to you that if you can catch the nudnick, the tiny humanoid may be able to tell you if there are hellghasts hiding in this tunnel. If you decide to follow the nudnick, turn to 23. If you choose to let it go, you can continue your subterranean journey by turning to 340. I want a rat friend. Let us turn to 23. Yes, and we do have the, healing skill, and I am at max EP at this time. You chase the furry creature as it hurries along a narrow, twisting passage. You stay on its trail for nearly 10 minutes without closing the gap between you. You are about to give up chase when the passage opens out into a huge torchlit cavern. Here, a stunning sight greets your eyes. The cavern houses an entire colony of these strange little humanoids. They are busily sorting and examining a vast collection of curious objects, which are heaped in the center of the hall. If you have the Kai discipline of animal kinship, turn to 144, and we do, rather than not having the skill, so 144 it is. Look at this absolute unit, this brave warrior. I will protect it with my life. A large nudnick wearing a brightly colored cloak of patchwork silks orders several of his people to arm themselves and drive you out of the hall. But when you speak to them in their own language, a hush of astonishment fills the cavern. Never before have they encountered a human being who can actually speak their tongue. For some of them, it is too much to grasp, and they stare at you open-mouthed, their furry little arms hanging loosely by their sides. Then the large nudnick addresses you, saying he is the leader of this colony. His name is Gashgis. He welcomes you and invites you to join him on top of a raised platform in the center of the chamber. Not a Duranese man, eh? Where are you coming from, eh? Questions Gashgis in his curious, squeaky nudnick accent. You tell him that you are a Somlending and that you are on your way to Hammerdal. He looks at you nervously, then asks, "You're not a black screamer, eh?" You realize that the black screamer that Gashgis refers to are hellghast. You learn from him that 2 hellghast arrived in Tarnalin over 2 hours ago. They caused a panic in the main tunnel. Gashgis knows where they are lying in ambush, waiting for you to appear. "I'll show the way past them, eh?" he offers. You nod your agreement, and follow him down the steps of the platform to the hall below. The nudnicks have overcome their shock and react to you now as if you were one of them. Before you leave, a pretty female nudnick offers you some food for your journey ahead. Pretty by whose standards? Are you calling Lone Wolf a furry? I don't oppose this. This is fine. There is enough for 2 meals in the frayed backpack she gives you. You may also keep the backpack if you need one. You thank her for her generosity and then follow Gashgis along one of the many passages leading out of the cavern. After an hour of trekking through the near darkness, he stops and points towards a shaft of light that is pouring through a crevice in the far distance. "Go left. You be safe," he says. You thank Gashgis for his help and silently you thank the Kai, and this is a close-up of our new dear friend Gashgus. He has done such a wonderful job leading and protecting his colony. Absolute stunning unit. He's great, we love him. We stand Gashgus, masters who taught you the skill of animal kinship. Their many years of patient instruction probably saved you your life. You squeezed through a fissure in the rock wall and dropped to the pathway below. You are thinking how kind and hospitable the nudnicks have been when you discover that one has stolen all your gold. Adjust your action chart accordingly. And we had so much gold. We had 43 gold crowns. We're going to do 0 with a star, just in case I need to reset this for some reason. We're going to do 2 meals. So meal, star, meal, star. We'll take the stars away once I save my game. Now, to continue along the tunnel, turn to 349. 349 it is. I thought I recognized this being a choice passage. You have covered nearly 3 miles before you see a group of wagons in the distance. They have been strung out across the highway to form a barricade. Soldiers in red uniforms line the roofs of the wagons, and a large number of people are crowded behind them. You can hear their excited chatter echoing along the tunnel. As you get closer, there is a sudden silence as all eyes turn to stare at you. A detachment of 10 soldiers, led by a knight whose shield bears the royal arms of Durinor, leaves the wagon barricade and advances towards you. If you wish to attack these soldiers, we don't. If you choose to raise your hands and continue your walk towards them, turn to 284. I'm not a Hellgast. You don't need to fear me, and we don't have much time. Curiously, the soldiers surround you and take your weapons and backpack. In this instance, do not erase these from your action chart. Then the knight steps forward and raises the visor of his helm. Who are you? What is your purpose here in Tarnalin? He demands in a stern voice. You tell him that you are a Kai warrior from Summerland on an urgent mission to the court of King Alan. He seems unconvinced by your words until you show him the seal of Hammerdal. Then, without hesitation, he orders his men to return all your belongings, and he ushers you through the wall of wagons. Beyond, you can see a horse-drawn carriage waiting in the center of the crowded tunnel. He motions you to climb aboard. Back to Hammerdal without delay, he orders the driver, and you are thrown back in your seat as the coach moves off at breakneck speed. You soon learn that this knight is Lord Axim of Rhyme, commander of King Alan's personal bodyguard. He was on his way to Port Bax on an errand for the king when the Hellgast entered Tarnalin. He and 10 soldiers were the only ones to survive a deadly encounter with these evil creatures. During your ride through the tunnel of Tarnalin, you must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. If you possess the Kai discipline of hunting, you are unable to use it in this instance. The journey to the capital will take 5 hours, and you are advised by Lord Axum to get some rest while you have the chance. As slowly you drift off to sleep, you begin to dream about the Sommerswerd. You picture a triumphant return to Holmgard, and the defeat of Dark Lord Sagarna's siege. Perhaps the dream is a good omen. It could be a premonition of things to come. To continue, turn to 9. And this is the knight, Lord Axim of Rhyme, commander of King Alan's personal bodyguard. It looks like we'll have to consume one of these meals, although I much would have rather have had my crowns. I suppose, though, if I'd been able to keep my crowns, I probably still would have been attacked by the Hellgast. And I believe I did give my magic spear to Lord Rygard, I think his name was, outside. I'm going to have to erase this, I think, from my special items. I'm pretty sure I gave him my spear, if I'm not mistaken. I might have to refer back to that. In the meantime, I'm going to be pretty certain that I gave him my spear. I'm not going to have a spear. I didn't erase it from my action chart because I didn't know if I'd have to go back after not saving, but I have saved. So let's go to 9. All the way back to passage 9. Our goal is so close, I can taste it. And it's been 2 weeks, just to keep you completely transparent and in the loop. It's been 2 weeks since I have opened this book, so some things have lapsed in my memory. It is early morning on the 15th day of your quest when you open your eyes to the breathtaking spectacle of Hammerdal, the mountain city, finally. The capital of Durinor, unlike other cities in the Last Lands, needs no man-made fortifications. The encircling peaks of the Hammerdal Range offer secure natural protection to the people of this splendid city. The carriage speeds through the lush farmlands that surround the city. In the approaching distance, you can see its many towers and wide, tree-lined avenues. On a hill at the very center of Hammerdal stands the King's Tower, a magnificent edifice constructed of glass and stone. As the carriage halts at the tower's gates, you suddenly realize for the first time that, as a wielder of the Sommerswerd, your destiny is to become part of the oldest legend of the Last Lands. If you possess a magic spear, it is confiscated by the king's bodyguard to be destroyed. They have identified it as an incomplete Helghast blue fire spear, a weapon of evil crafted by the Dark Lords that could betray you in the future, or even endanger King Alan. Erase the magic spear from your special items list. Well, I did that, so I worried for nothing. That happens quite frequently, by the way. I once obtained a series of instructions on one passage that I then wrote down here in this playthrough, and then was ready to implement these instructions as if I was going to encounter them in a series of passages. And then in the very next passage, it had already been hand-waved. I had just went ahead and followed the directions. So it happens from time to time. We'll turn to 196 and we'll overshoot it, apparently. We are right here. King Alan IV sits alone in his domed tower, viewing his mountain domain through one of the many portals of Caranese glass. You and Lord Axum are formally announced as you enter the chamber, and you respectfully bow to the king. Then, Lord Axum removes the seal of Hammerdal from your finger and walks over to the king's side. Erase the seal of Hammerdal from your action chart. Oh no, I hope I don't need that. I hope I don't need it. Alright, erase the seal. For nearly an hour they talk, their somber faces reflecting the seriousness of the situation. There is a short pause of silent meditation. Then King Alan suddenly arises from his throne and addresses you for the first time. Alas, the Dark Lords are in ascendance once more, and once more does Summerland come in search of our aid. I had prayed that my reign would be remembered as a time of peace and fulfillment, but alas, in my heart, I knew it was to be otherwise. The king removes a golden key from the pocket of his white robe and inserts it in a marble dais standing in the center of the chamber. A gentle humming fills the room as the stone cover slides back to reveal the hilt of a golden sword. Take the sword, Lone Wolf. It is foretold that only a true child of Summerland can release the powers that lie within its divine blade. As you grasp the sword's glowing hilt, a tingling sensation runs up your arm and radiates throughout your body. If you have the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense, and we do, turn to 79. Is it a fake? Is it to test me? Do I need to toss it aside? The power that is coursing through your body so overwhelms your senses that you become oblivious to your surroundings. Instinctively, you raise the blade above your head where a shaft of sunlight catches upon its very tip and floods the chamber with a blinding glow. In this moment, the true power of the Sommerswerd is revealed to you. This weapon was forged long before the Somlending, the Duranese, or the Dark Lords dwelt in northern Magnamund. Its divine maker was the god Kai himself, assisted by the Nuoma, the spirit-like demigods who serve him on the plane of light. To release the power that it contains, only a Kai may wield it. Should it be used in combat by anyone who is not a Kai warrior, its power will gradually fade until it is forever lost. The Sommerswerd is a weapon-like special item. When used in combat, it will add 8 points to your combat skill, or 10 points if you possess the Kai discipline of weapon skill with sword, short sword, or broadsword. It may be treated like a one-handed sword regardless of your weapon skill bonus. And players seeking a more challenging experience may also read the alternative rules about the special item in the Power of the Sommerswerd section in the appendix of this book. It has the ability to absorb any magic that is used against its bearer, and it doubles the total of all endurance points lost by undead enemies, such as Helghast, in combat. It is the only goodly weapon in Magnamund that can destroy a Dark Lord, and it is for this reason that Dark Lord Zagarna is bent on thwarting your quest. You now realize you hold the only instrument of power in Magnamund that can save your people. Slowly the glowing light fades, and you become aware of Lord Axum's hand upon your shoulder. This is the true power of the Sommerswerd. Amazing. What an amazing depiction and description of this sword and its amazing, awesome power. Come, Lone Wolf. There is much to prepare for your return to Summerland. You sheath the Sommerswerd in its jeweled scabbard and follow Lord Axum as he leaves the king's chamber. Make the necessary adjustments to your combat skill total now that you possess the Sommerswerd. Be sure to note the powers of this powerful weapon under the special items section of your action chart. So, to continue, we will turn to our next passage, but please bear with me for just a moment. We have the Sommerswerd, and that is a +10. So we have Mind Blast also. We need to put that we have 10 and 2. It's too bad we can't get like the Summer Werehammer, we're hammer so that we can use our actual weapon skill that we do have, but I suppose that's fine. This is double the endurance points total lost by undead enemies in combat. It absorbs any magic that is used against its bearer. We'll also take a look at the power of the Sommerswerd rules a little bit later. For now, we're going to continue to passage 40. The muster of the army and the preparation of the journey's fleet takes 14 days to complete, during which time you remain as a guest of the king in Hammerdal. As each day passes, you despair for your besieged countrymen of Holmgard, and pray that they have enough strength to resist the forces of Dark Lord Zagarna until you are able to return. Every day of your reluctant exile, you devote long periods to exercise and meditation. You are also visited by a Durinese Ereborden called Madden Rendalim. He is famous throughout the Lastlands for his knowledge and skill in the healing arts. He restores all the endurance points you may have lost so far on your adventure, and he gives you an especially potent Laumsper potion that will restore 5 endurance points if swallowed after combat. Mark this concentrated Laumsper potion as a backpack item on your action chart. We do have a backpack. We were just given a sort of ratty one from the nudnicks, but we will go ahead and say that we took the backpack from Malim. I think that this lends itself more to the roleplay aspect. Excuse me. Okay, we have a Laumsper potion, and that's going to be plus 5 EP. It's incredible to me that I'm going to have a combat skill of 29 with my... No, actually, my shield gives 2 as well, so it's actually going to be a combat skill of 31. As long as I am wielding the Sommerswerd, I know that this probably is borrowed power for now. I still have my red pass and my ticket to Port Bax. Madin Rendalim is also the bearer of some sad news. The body of Lord Lieutenant Rygar has been found in the forest near to the entrance to Tarnalin. From the nature of his fatal wounds, it is believed that he was killed by a Helghast. I have the Kai discipline of 6th sense. I will turn to 97 in the wake of this news. I don't like that. During your rigorous training exercises with the Sommerswerd, you have become aware that your Kai discipline of 6th sense is more sensitive than it has ever been before. You knew exactly the nature of Madin Rendalim's sad news before he actually told you. You may find that your improved 6th sense will be an important advantage upon your return to Holmgard. Turn to 152. It is early in the morning of the 33rd day of your quest when you ride into Port Bax with Lord Axum at your side. The preparations for war have been completed. The galleons of the Durinese war fleet lie at anchor in the harbor, impatiently awaiting the order to set sail for Sommerland. On board each ship are many brave soldiers from the Mountain Kingdom, a tough army of skilled warriors, eager to face Dark Lord Zagarna's forces in battle. Each man has sworn to avenge their besieged Somlending allies or die in the attempt. You are to sail back to Holmgard aboard the flagship Durinor, a warship whose great curving prow and tall masts emphasize its sheer power and strength. You and Lord Axum are taken aboard and welcomed by Admiral Kalfin, a commander of the fleet, and then the fleet prepares to set sail. In less than an hour, the harbor of Port Bax lies far behind you. The domes of the city are now merely dots on the horizon. Pick a number from the random number table. I would like to, at this point, show you where exactly we are by utilizing the map in the front of this book. So we made it all the way through Tarnalin to Hammerdal, and now we are here at Port Bax, and we have already sailed so far away that it's just dots on the horizon, so we might be around here. We're in the Gulf of Durinor for sure, and the goal is to get all the way back to Holmgard, which I don't know if Holmgard necessarily is a port city. We had to, I don't remember if we left from Holmgard exactly. Did we go to Ragadorn first? None of it matters. This actually is going to take us probably directly back to Holmgard. All of these warships on the coasts, and then our fleet should be able to disembark. I've stalled long enough. It's time. Let's pick a number from the random number table. It's a 6. If the numbers 4 to 6, turn to 49, and here we go, all the way back to 49. For 3 days and nights, the fleet of Durinor spreads canvas and sails swiftly towards the home gulf. But although the voyage is fast, each ship in the fleet is cursed by misfortune. Sails tear, ropes mysteriously untie themselves, and timbers warp and leak. The men become short-tempered in the cramped quarters, and fighting, sometimes to the death, is commonplace. By the 3rd night of the voyage, Lord Axum is close to despair. Never have I suffered such a wretched journey. No enemy has been sighted nor battle fought. Yet half my men are either ill or wounded, and we have lost 2 of our finest ships. We have been jinxed by an evil moon. How I pray that it would wane, for even if we were to arrive in Holmgard this very night, I fear we are too weak to break Zagarna's siege." As he speaks, you can see the sun rising on the eastern horizon. You pray that this day will see an end to the bad luck that has dogged your voyage so far, but the calm waters that now surround the fleet harbor a new and sinister threat. To continue, turn to 100. I don't like that at all. A veil of sea fog has rolled across the placid ocean from the broken spine of land known as the Kirlundan Isles. Strange dark shapes are lurking in the mist. If you possess a crystal star pendant, you notice rays of yellow light are now radiating from it. You shouldn't have told me that. I don't possess a crystal star pendant, I don't think. They are growing larger, and slowly the indistinct outline of several ships becomes plain to see. "All hands on deck!" The Admiral's cry is repeated along the many decks of the journey's fleet. "Prepare for battle!" As the black ships approach from out of the fog, a horrific sight befalls you. They are death hulks, sunken ships crewed by and we see this wonderful illustration, sinister flagship swiftly sails towards you, a huge ram protruding from its black prow. Gosh, they don't skimp at all. Sunken ships crewed by the living corpses of drowned sailors. They have been summoned to the surface by dark wizardry, and they are closing fast for battle. Suddenly the fog vanishes completely, and now you can see that the death hulks are strung out in a line which bars the entrance to the Holm Gulf. In the center of the enemy formation is their sinister flagship. Swiftly, it turns and sails towards you, a huge ram protruding from its black barnacled prow. As the head of the ram rips its way through the hull of the Duranor, you hear the Admiral's last desperate order. "Abandon ship!" You are now in the thick of the enemy fleet, and the Duranor is sinking fast. If you wish to jump onto the deck of the Death Hulk flagship, turn to 30. If you wish to dive into the sea and try to swim to the safety of another journey ship, turn to 267. And it is here for the first time in this playthrough that I am going to save at passage 100. I'm going to give that a little underline. We definitely have 0 crowns. I didn't make it all this way just to go back for my measly 43 crowns, a decision that I hope I don't regret. I'm unsure what to do in this instance. I think it might be wise to swim to the safety of another journey ship. However, I am in possession of the Sommerswerd. This would be an amazing risk, but it would be an amazing combat. If I am surrounded by the undead, I could turn to 30. And we could at least try. If, of course, I die immediately, then we'll find out pretty quickly if it was a bad decision. You land on the rotting timbers and crash straight through them to the deck below. Ow! You are unharmed by the fall, but the stench of decay that now fills your nostrils is overwhelming. You clamber to your feet and unsheath the Sommerswerd. 4 ghastly zombies stagger out of the gloom, their eye sockets glowing with scarlet flames, and their twisted hands extended towards your throat. You must fight these gruesome creatures as one enemy. They are an undead enemy, so remember to double all endurance points that they lose due to the power of the Sommerswerd. They are immune to Mind Blast. They have a combat skill of 13 and an endurance of 16. So the very first number that we have rolled is a 9, and I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure when the combat ratio is literally 17, 27, 28, 29, we're not counting Mind Blast, but we are counting my shield. 29 versus 13, we have a combat ratio of more than 12. And because of that, a roll of 9, the enemy is immediately going to die. I don't lose any health at all, but they have died. In one swing, one combat round, if you win the fight, turn to 258. Bring me more of these terrible sailors. I'll take them all down on my own. The cloying stench of the ship is making you choke, lose 1 endurance point. You must get out of this vile-smelling hold, or you fear you will suffocate. If you have 6th sense, turn to 272. We are going to do that. We're always going to use our 6th sense. Someone or something is approaching the door of the ship's hold from the other side. If you were to climb out through the shattered decking, you would leave your legs vulnerable to attack from below. However, there is no other way out of this fated place. You sense that an evil creature is coming closer. Its power is greater than that of the zombie crewman. Could it be a Helghast? You place your trust in the power of the Sommerswerd to protect you from the approaching evil, and you raise its golden blade in readiness for combat. Continue by turning to 9. 5, not 9. 5. Yes, the door bursts open and in rushes a Helghast, its black sword raised above, high its ghastly head. You strike the creature a powerful blow and open a terrible gash in its chest. It lets out a hideous shriek and staggers backwards. Although badly wounded, it quickly summons its supernatural strength, leaping forward in a frenzied attack. You must fight this fell creature to the death. And we shall, and I, through the power of healing, have reached my endurance again of 26. So, we have a combat skill of 22 and an endurance of 20, and we're ready to fight this thing. Fight it we shall. It's 22 versus, again, 17, 27, 20, 29. That is a combat ratio of 7. I've rolled a 0, which is not a bad thing. It is actually a fantastic thing. It's a combat ratio of +7 in my favor, and in rolling a 0, I have not suffered any wounds, and the Helghast has been completely destroyed. An absolute night and day difference than my previous combats with Helghasts. Amazing, and what a rewarding feeling it is to know that in one round of combat, perhaps just one single blow, it is completely destroyed. We will leave the ship's hold by the open door, and we will continue by turning to 166. 166 is here, and it has another illustration. We're being spoiled with the illustrations now. You make your way up a flight of stairs and onto the crowded deck. A fierce battle rages all around you as the Journey's fleet is engulfed by the rush of the ghostly Death Hulks. Suddenly, a flash of searing flame shoots from a tower at the rear of the Death Hulk you are on and explodes into the side of a Journey's warship less than 50 yards away. You watch with horror as soldiers leap from the deck with their clothes and hair aflame. If you wish to investigate the tower, turn to 328. Or you can escape from this ship by jumping overboard, turning to 267. I think that is a previous passage choice as well. At least not just the wording, but also the passage number. I wonder if there is merit to that. I want to investigate the tower, and I want to show you this illustration of soldiers unfortunately leaping from the decks of their ships, clothes and hair aflame. But I think investigating the tower would be wisest. However, that said, I'm actually out of time this week, this Tome Tuesday. We are saving at passage 166. I'm going to work to clean up this a little bit, make things a little more compact, at least where the pencil is concerned, and I need to sharpen my pencil. And we will absolutely return next Tome Tuesday to Fire on the Water, where I think we will actually finally reach our climax of this story. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. This is quite, I know I say this every episode at this point, but quite understandable why it's a lot of Lone Wolf Enjoyers' favorite book. It is just filled to the brim with all sorts of adventure. And it's an amazing book with amazing writing and just a hugely creative adventure written. I am in just awe of Joe Dever's experience and talent with this one. And I know that this is only book 2 out of about 30, so we have a long journey ahead of us, Kai Warriors. If you enjoyed this, be sure to comment down below. Make sure to like the video so people who have similar tastes to you will also find this in their algorithms and join us on this adventure as well. The more the merrier, and I'll see you in the next exciting adventure. Until then, brave heroes, I bid you farewell for now.